Charlie, Lima, Echo, Alpha, Romeo. Current events. On Saturday, October 4th, 2025, a massive fire destroyed Judge Diane Goodstein's South Carolina beach home, injuring 3 family members, including her husband, who jumped from the window to escape. The judge was walking her dogs on the beach at the time. Goodstein serves as a circuit court judge in South Carolina's First Judicial Circuit. Due to the remote water access location, firefighters used canoes and kayaks to reach the site. One victim was airlifted to the Medical University of South Carolina. The others arrived by ambulance. Injury details remain undisclosed. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is leading the investigation into the fire, with no evidence of arson as of October 8, 2025. However, some hopeful speculation arose from those who wish to use the incident for political purposes. This is due to Goodstein's receiving death threats linked to her rulings against the Trump administration. Weeks before the incident, Goodstein issued a decision blocking the South Carolina Election Commission from releasing voter data requested by the U.S. Department of Justice. This ruling drew criticism from the Trump administration. As of this communique, there is no evidence that points to arson. California. A helicopter operated by Reach Air Medical Services crashed on Highway 50 in Sacramento on Monday, October 6th, prompting a large-scale response. Multiple crew members were taken to area hospitals, and no patients were on board. Crew members remain in critical condition. San Diego, California. A newly formed California-based company, Show Faith by Works LLC, has launched a $3.25 million campaign to bolster support for Israel among evangelical Christians in the United States, according to documents filed with the United States Department of Justice under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, or FARA. Established on July 30th, 2025, and operating as a foreign agent for Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the firm is spearheading what it calls the largest Christian church geofencing operation in U.S. history. Led by Chad Schneigner, a prominent conservative Christian activist and managing partner at Greystone Public Affairs, the campaign targets churches, Christian colleges, and organizations across California, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, and potentially Texas with a mix of high-tech and grassroots strategies. The campaign employs geofencing technology to serve pro-Israel advertisements to mobile devices within virtual boundaries around hundreds of locations, such as Palm Valley Church in Texas. When users attend services or events, these ads, described in the filings as pro-Israel and anti-Palestinian, aim to deliver calls to action like petitions or donations, but without collecting personal identities. The initiative also includes a mobile October 7th experience trailer featuring virtual reality headsets and kiosks to immerse audiences in narratives of the 2023 Hamas attacks on Israel. Set to tour megachurches, additional efforts involved recruiting pastors to distribute resource packages, hiring social media influencers, producing TV-style commercials, and optimizing search engine results to prioritize pro-Israel content. Backed by a contract that could expand to $4.1 million, Show Faith by Works is part of Israel's broader $150 million public diplomacy push in 2025. The campaign has sparked debate, with critics on platforms like Reddit and X calling the geofencing tactics invasive and akin to surveillance. Though no legal challenges have emerged as October 8, 2025, the firm's team includes Melissa Laundrie, a recent Los Angeles County Republican volunteer, and Richard Tong, a California GOP convention attendee, blending political and religious outreach expertise. Proposals to enlist high-profile figures like Tim Tebow and Chris Pratt as spokespeople are also under consideration. For more details, the public can access the company's filings through the Department of Justice's e-file portal under registration number 7653. It has also been linked in the comments section of this video. A more insidious application emerges in psychological manipulation and ideological control, where geofencing evolves from benign ads to coercive propaganda or division sowing tactics. In the Show Family Faith by Works campaign, geofenced ads are explicitly pro Israel and anti Palestinian, timed to hit devices during worship to influence views on foreign policy. This is likened to brainwashing, funded by a foreign government. Weaponized further, authoritarian regimes or political operatives could flood Christian devices with anti faith messaging, portraying biblical teaching as extremist, promoting secular ideologies during services, or even doxing attendees who engage with subversive content elsewhere. Similarly, a hostile government could geofence churches to serve content equating Christian conservatism with terrorism, eroding community cohesion, and pressuring believers to self censor. In divided contexts, like the U.S. culture wars, it could increase schisms by targeting progressive Christians with ads from rival denominations, as seen in reports of megachurches allegedly poaching other congregates from smaller churches via geofence promotions, fostering competition over unity. Data harvesting for profiling and harassment amplifies these threats, transforming passive tracking into active oppression. While Show Faith by Works claims not to collect personal identities, the technology inherently logs device IDs, timestamps, and dwell times, which can be aggregated to build detailed profiles of religious habits. In adversarial hands, such as a surveillance state or a non state actor, this data could fuel blacklists, identifying frequent churchgoers for job discrimination, social media deplatforming, or targeted harassment. The Calvary Chapel case illustrates this, where geofence data informed depositions of members, exposing personal attendance patterns to legal scrutiny. Globally, in countries like China, similar location tech monitors house churches for raids. Domestically, it could enable a digital yellow star for Christians, as Rabbi Michael Barclay described government geofencing during COVID as tagging believers for compliance. Political campaigns have already tested this boundary. In 2020, CatholicVote.org geofenced Catholic masses in swing states like Wisconsin to mine voter data and mobilize pro Trump turnout, raising alarms about exploiting worship for partisan gain and violating the sanctity of church as nonpartisan space. If weaponized by opponents of Christianity, this could mean serving threats of arrest or smear ads to devices of attendees at controversial services, normalizing the church as a surveilled zone. Finally, eroding of privacy and consent in faith communities sets the stage for long term cultural suppression. Recent privacy laws like the GDPR and the CCPA have curtailed geofencing's reach by requiring opt ins, but as seen with Apple and Google's 2021 to 2024 updates, location data access is shrinking, yet enforcement lags, allowing bad actors to exploit loopholes. For Christians, whose gatherings often emphasize vulnerability and confession, this intrusion feels like a betrayal of spiritual refuge. Scale up, it could deter attendance altogether as congregates fear tracking by employers, insurers, or hijackers who breach data brokers. Bipartisan lawmakers, including Jim Jordan, have flagged geofence warrants as unconstitutional dragnets, yet their proliferation in cases like the January 6 investigation shows momentum towards normalization. In essence, while geofencing starts as a marketing ploy, its weaponization against Christians could manifest as a multi layered assault, from immediate fines to fines for disobedience to subtle ideological subversion and persuasive profiling. Historical abuses, like those at Calvary Chapel, underscore that safeguards like the FARA disclosures or warrants are insufficient without robust privacy reforms. Charlie, Lima, Echo,